Range Rover. A brand known for luxurious off-roaders. And the Evoque. Although saying that, the Evoque has actually been proven to be pretty good off-road. They did a marketing stunt with that enormous speed bump in London, where only the Evoque could get over it. Anyway, what about this? The Range Rover Velar. The car that's supposed to make Range Rover sort of like a Range Rover Sport, but cheaper and for, well, I don't know who it's aimed at actually. Because it's between the Range Rover Sport and the Range Rover Evoque. But I don't know. Because most people will either go for the Sport or the Evoque. So I have no idea why this came into existence. To be honest though, I don't know why people would choose the Evoque over this. Because I think this is far, far better than the Evoque. Yes, the Evoque was designed by Posh Spice, well, with the help of Posh Spice, but this is better looking. This is a really, really pretty car. It's like a sort of baby Range Rover Sport, which itself is a baby Range Rover, so it's a baby of a baby. Still, I think I might actually prefer this over the Sport. It looks to me like it's more of a standalone car. Because the Sport is just like a demoted Range Rover. The Velar actually feels like a different car. A standalone car. And I prefer that. However, it's less of a standalone car than I give it credit for. Because it's from an extremely flooded corner of the market. It's rivaling the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, that big Maserati thing, the Volvo XC60. What's the... I forgot the name of it. But there's literally so many of these sort of big four-wheel drive SUVs. Well, it's basically like a pick and mix bag. I think this is probably the best of them. But still, there are far too many cars just like this. I mean, it's good to have a little bit of rivalry. You know, cars that you can pick between, but seriously, half of them aren't even any good. And some of them even share the same platform. Really not any good. For an SUV, it's pretty quick. I like it. Even if it is still a bit slow for an actual car, but I think what's really good about it is that it wafts like a Range Rover should. It's very hard to get the sense of a Range Rover through a game. But Dealership Tycoon nails that. You just sort of accelerate, and the scenery moves a bit faster. It isn't very good on launch though. If I just come down to a stop here, which is done not too badly, brakes could be a bit better, but if I launch it, it's a bit of wheel spin, a bit sort of, ooh, what's happening, before it settles into the waft. Which, while I get it, that's how it would be in real life, it's still sort of a bit, childish. Corners, however, are actually pretty good again for an SUV. In fact, they're also pretty good for a normal car. I'm hitting these apexes. I'm actually going past the apex because I'm sort of, how do I put it, underestimating the capabilities of this car through the corners. But you can just click the apexes, brake relatively late, and it's fun. I never thought I'd say this, but driving this relatively heavy SUV is fun because it doesn't feel as heavy. The only real amount of heaviness is every so often you might overestimate its capabilities, and then it will understeer. But other than that, feels just like I'm driving any other saloon car. Which is a really good trick for an SUV. I'm very impressed. But now it's time to see how it does on the fast lap. This should be good. I have high hopes for it. Let's get the wheels spinning. Only the back wheels are spinning. It's interesting. Anyway, here we go. Fast as I can through these twists and turns. Up the hill. It does lack a bit of torque, I will be honest. But, in all fairness, it is pretty quick. I am impressed. And I'm hitting these apexes without putting in too much effort, which is something that I should not be able to do in an SUV. Okay, that was very wide through the flat-out corner at the end. 36, basically dead. Which shouldn't be possible in an SUV. This is an impossible car. And I like it for that. Now then, this is a shop car, so I like to offer buyer's advice. There's sort of three main rivals for it all around where it is. You've got the most expensive being the Ford Bronco. This is not one you want to go for. It is only £2,000 more, but it's slower and I don't like it as much. Brakes need a bit of work and it doesn't feel like a decent package. Then you've got a cheaper option, which is the Jeep Trackhawk. This one's pretty quick, but it doesn't have any good off-roading capabilities. The Velar does. So I have to admit, if you want a really good off-roader SUV, Ford Bronco. If you want a really good, many-seater track car, well, probably BMW M2 or M4. But if you want a really good package of smooth driving, fast track laps, and decent off-road capabilities, get a Velar. So on that bombshell, I will see you later today with a car that I absolutely adore in real life.